Okay guys, this is my review of the BGVP DX-6, and this is an earbud. It's a really nicely crafted earbud, and it's only 88 US dollars. It comes with a lot of premium accessories, which I will go through in this review. My name is Ian. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I do mostly audio product reviews, and if you are interested in this type of content, do consider to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so that you get notified of my future videos. Okay, so BGVP DX-6, 88 US dollars. If you guys are interested, do check out the link down in the description below. It comes with a whole bunch of premium accessories, which I'll go through, and then I'll go through the fit and comfort and the sound of these earbuds. Okay, now this is a very nice box that it comes with. I would say one of the best packed earbuds that I've seen. Okay, so let's just go through the specs of this earbuds. The impedance is 32 ohms. The frequency response is 10 to 40,000 hertz. Sensitivity is 122 dB. And that's about it. The rest is, pretty negligible. Okay, so very nice box. Let's put this box one side. And inside this box, man, I want to talk about this. All right, so this is the carrying case that it comes with. Look at the quality of this carrying case. It's nice and plush. It's got nice leather feel to it. I think it's synthetic leather. It's not real leather. Let's do the smell test. Okay, so it is synthetic leather, right? On the inside, you do get a very nice and plush felt feel on the inside, and you can put your earbuds inside, and then all the rest of the foams that is being provided here, and the ear hook inside this elastic mesh sleeve here. And the entire box is so big, right? It's huge. So I think for this price, I mean, the box itself, or this carrying case itself, this hard case, is not cheap to make. I can tell that it's not cheap to make this carrying case. Okay, then also it comes with a clip, a cable clip, whereby you can clip your cable, make sure it doesn't move around, and some ear hooks, right? So this is some silicone ear hooks whereby you can actually add on to the cable itself, so that this cable can be worn the other way around, whereby the cable goes around the top of your ear. Okay, and a whole bunch of foam tips. Okay, so these foam tips, this one is color coded, so you can actually tell which one is left, which one is right. Usually red is right, left, blue is left. Okay, so this actually color codes your earbuds so that you don't need to keep looking for the label. And then some black foam tips, and then you have your another black foam tip. I'm not taking it out from the plastic bag because I don't want to dirty it. Okay, and you get some donut tips as well. Okay, and let's talk about the cable. Now, man, this cable is so nice, right? I like this cable, and the special part about this cable, it comes with, look at that, interchangeable plugs. Okay, you can actually change your termination. Okay, so you have 3 different types of ear connectors, 4.4, and then you have your 2.5 connector, which is also TRRS, and it's a balanced connector. Okay, and lastly you have your 3.5, which is not balanced, is single-ended, which is just TRS, which is tip ring sleeve. Okay, so three different termination. All right, you can connect to any source, which I like because on my DAP I have 3.5, I have 2.5, I have 4.5, sorry 4.4, so I can connect to any source. Okay, that's one thing good. And the cable itself is nicely braided, very premium feel quality 6N OCC oxygen free cable. Very nice, very premium. I like this cable very much. And the Y splitter, it's made of metal, it's milled. The chin slider is made of plastic. I mean, there's a little bit, I don't know, I mean everything else is made of plastic except for the chin slider, but doesn't matter. And then the connectors, it's MMCX. Okay, so again, MMCX, you need to have some finesse in removing them. Okay, so once you get the hang of removing MMCX, it's kind of okay, right? So right, once you hear the click, it's in. And let's talk about the earbud. Okay, this is a really nicely built and milled aluminum alloy shell earbud. It's fully metal. There is no plastic. I don't see any plastic on this. It's really well milled. It's got the BGVP logo right here. It's got this like P size, P shape, teardrop shape, I don't know what you call it, okay, type of design to it. This matte satin green is really getting into me, right? It doesn't create any fingerprints, so you can rest assured that it's really nice and clean. It's got indications here, the logo, right, BGVP logo, and the indication of right or left. This is a huge driver, right? So it's a 14mm driver. It's huge. All right, it's got this perforated mesh filter here. Obviously the driver's inside, and you get some vents on the back here for the driver flags, and another vent here. So in terms of the build quality, this is really nice. Okay, I really dig this design. Fit and comfort, this well, in terms of earbuds, right? So earbuds, they fit my ear very comfortably. They just hang on the outside of my pinna, and it does not insert into my ear. So in terms of comfort, is really comfortable, especially with the donut foam tips. Right, these foam tips just, you know, sits comfortably on the outside of my ear, and yeah, no discomfort or anything like that. And also, you know, there's no fatigue because obviously it does not press onto my ear or anything like that. So in terms of fit and comfort, it's pretty comfortable, right? It's nice. And seal, this is different from IEMs. These earbuds, they don't seal up your ear canal, so there's no seal, right? So you are actually listening to mini speakers that is really close to your ears. Okay, so these are like mini speakers. Okay, very nice earbuds. So how do they sound? Let's take out my graph. I've graphed this. Yes, I have graphed this, and let's talk about how these sound. Okay, so as you can see, I have graphed out these earbuds. Again, for earbuds, the sound signature is a little bit different from IEMs, which is I would say entirely in your ear, right? That's why it's called in-ear monitors. But these, they are not entirely in your ear, so you have the sound travels through your ear canal from a longer distance. At the same time, it's exposed to some ambient sound. All right, so it's not entirely closed up, and also you do get a type of speaker listening experience. All right, so it's not entirely an IEM and entirely sealed. Okay, so sound signature on these earbuds will be different from IEMs. It will not have that bass shelf. If you are used to listening to IEMs, you will have that bass shelf here. But for earbuds, usually there is not much of a bass shelf here in terms of sub bass and the impact of the mid bass. Okay, there is still some impact there. You can feel it, all right. But once you go a bit further down the frequency, the rumble and that texture is gonna be a bit faded. Okay, you still can feel it. You can still hear that rumble at times, but it's not as forward as the rest of the frequencies. Okay, so if you look at this graph, right, so this basically is more of a mid-centric type of IEM, right? And the target reference that I usually reference with for this type of earbud is diffuse feel. Okay, so instead of referencing it to the normal Harman curve, I will reference this to the diffuse field. And this diffuse field is actually used mostly for speakers. Okay, if you're measuring speakers, you will use this diffuse field to reference to the speakers. So these earbuds, to me, they are quite close to speakers, so I'm using this diffuse field as my reference. Okay, so as you can see, the bass, right, it's in terms of the sub bass, is almost at that diffuse field region. Sub bass, you won't be able to feel much rumble, right? There is the texture there. This IEM is more of a warmish type of sound signature, and more of a warm timbre. Okay, not so dry, not so analytical, and not so neutral type. It's pretty neutral, I would say. All right, but there's some warmth to it. The mid bass is impactful. All right, it does have that impact. You have to turn up the volume, obviously, but try not to listen to too loud. All right, it may damage your ears because, as I mentioned, the sound it's mixed with your ambient sound because there's no seal, so you will tend to crank up the volume. But I would suggest not to crank it up too much because these are actually right outside your ear, and it may damage your hearing. So in terms of impact, I would say it's quite impactful, right? It's not prominent as well, but there is some impact to it. Okay, but what is more important here, because earbuds are more mid-centric, and how that mid-centric sounds like is more important on earbuds than compared to IEMs. Okay, so for me, this in terms of the mids, they are forward. Okay, they are warm. They are not that dark. Okay, and they are not that laid back. Okay, so in terms of mids, I find that the mids here are just nice. All right, it's somewhere in neutral to forward type of mids. Okay. Instruments, they sound clear, crystal clear. Trumpets and saxophones, they sound nice and airy. So in terms of wind instruments and string instruments, string instruments not so much, but more of the wind instruments. Because of the trumpets, they sound more airy. The saxophones, they sound more lively because it's mixed with your ambient sound. So it's not entirely in your ear type of sound traveling to your ear canal. It's I would say mixed with the outside sound and some air. All right, so you can feel the air mixed together with the sound traveling to your ear pinna, and it sounds more natural. Okay, in terms of pianos and bass guitars, these earbuds, they don't really reflect that well in terms of that instrument, but you know, it's sufficient. Okay, it sounds natural and a little bit recessed, I might say, but that's the nature of earbuds. You won't find much presence of the double bass and guitars, especially on the lower octaves type of instruments. Okay, so for higher octaves, and those instruments like violins and trumpets and saxophones, you can actually hear them really clearly and very forward. Okay, now so that's for the mids. Let's talk about vocals. So vocals, I would say for male vocals, they sound pretty neutral, a bit of warmth to it. The note weight is, I would say, neutral as well. Tone and the timbre is pretty neutral, and yeah. So in terms of the clarity, all right, is pretty analytical, and not that warm. I mean, there's a little bit of warmth to it, but it's pretty neutral in terms of the sound signature for the male vocals. For female vocals, they sound airy, energetic. That's one thing good about earbuds. You know, they give energy to the treble. Okay, so female vocals, they sound energetic, and they sound lively. They've got that sparkle there, and just nice to listen to. Obviously, they sound a little bit light and neutral in terms of the tonality. They don't sound warm and laid back. The note weight is a little bit on the lighter side, but yeah, in terms of that, you know, it sounds really nice and energetic. All right, in terms of the female vocals. Okay. For the treble, as you can see, for the treble here, okay, this is a pretty okay treble. Okay, I wouldn't say it's the brightest. Okay, but for any earbud, they are bright. Okay, they are, the emphasis is on the mids and the treble, and this earbud, I would say, is somewhere in between in terms of brightness, or the darkness is not too dark, and to a point where, you know, you find that the treble is really dull. This is definitely not dull. Okay, the treble on these is definitely not dull. It's got that energy there. It's just that it's not as close to the diffuse field target as you can see here, but the roll off is pretty okay. If you look at the 10K, the roll off of the treble is pretty natural. Okay, it doesn't just cut off, right? So in terms of the clarity, the extension of the treble, it's pretty natural. Okay, obviously there is energy to the treble. It's, well, I wouldn't say sibilant. It's at times bright, but there's no sibilance, there's no harshness to this treble. It's really nice. Okay, on certain tracks, I would say there is a little bit of darkness to the treble, but it's only on certain tracks, which I'll show you which track which I normally use to test my IEMs and my earbuds. Okay, so let's talk about the SOUNDSTAGE. SOUNDSTAGE is really good. Okay, it's a different listening experience from IEMs. SOUNDSTAGE is wide, and you can feel that airiness in terms of SOUNDSTAGE. It's got that coherence and the naturalism. Is there a word for that? A naturalism to the SOUNDSTAGE. It doesn't sound so enforced into like in your ear type of SOUNDSTAGE. So you can hear that ambient sound at the same time mixed together with the sound that these earbuds produce, thus that impression that it's got a wide sound stage. Obviously the depth and the layering is all mixed together. It sounds natural. So the depth and layering and musical instruments, they sound naturally placed out. It's got a wide and neutral type of soundstage, and the depth is really good because you get that sensation that it got a wider soundstage because it's got this airiness to it. The imaging is really good, and the positioning of the instruments, they are okay. You know, I can tell the different locations of the instruments. Detail retrieval and the resolution on this are fantastic. Okay, so you can actually pick up, even though they are earbuds, you know, you can actually pick up the nuances of the details of particular tracks, and the resolution on these are crystal clear. Okay, so let me just show you the songs which I normally use. Okay, so these are the songs that I normally use to test my earbuds or my IEMs. Alright, so this song, Wilderness by Explosions in the Sky. This song, I usually use it to test subtleness, the dynamic range, the frequency range of the earbud, right? How deep and how high the sound frequency can travel on these earbuds. And then Queen, obviously, the male vocal. I'll test the male vocal on Queen, Don't Stop Me Now. Florence and the Machine, same thing, Hunger. I test female vocals. Paper Trails, Dark Side, I test the bass. And some other songs. I mean, I have a lot of songs in my test list. And I always use this test list to test all my IEMs and my earbuds. Okay, so the same song, so I'm very familiar with this song, the songs here, so I can tell the difference when I put on or when I compare two different earbuds or IEMs. Okay, the gear that I use obviously is the iPad. I also use my Hi-B R5 Gen 2 DAP, and I'll have my my iFi Zen DAC, and also my iFi Hip DAC 2, and my iPhone, Android phones. I test them all. Okay, and so this is my conclusion from all that test. Okay, so that concludes my impressions and my review of this BGVP DX-6. Right, so do I recommend this for $88? Well, in terms of the quality of the accessories and the box that it comes with, the type of ear connectors, I mean the connectors that it comes with, $88 is quite reasonable. And the sound these produce is really nice. Okay, the quality of the driver in there is LCP, by the way, right? LCP liquid crystal polymer type of diaphragm in there, so it is a pretty good driver. Okay, the quality is there. I can hear the sound that it produces is good. So I think for $88, this is a worth it package to get. So I do suggest that you guys go get one of these pairs for yourself. Right, so that concludes my impressions and my review of this BGVP DX-6. I hope you guys learned something from this video and enjoyed this video, and if you did, do consider to subscribe to this channel and click on the bell so that you get notified of my future videos. Alright, so I wish you guys a great day ahead, and I hope to see you guys again in my next video. Peace.